Welcome to the blueprint to become $1 million agent. This is part one of, it could be a couple of parts. I don't know how many parts we're going to have in this series, but we're starting here at part one. So welcome. My name's Callan Richards. I am one of the founders of K2X. I founded this business with Alex Roris, who's in the picture with me. He is my business partner. Okay. We started K2X about 6 years ago in a granny flat at my mother's house in Sans Souci. We had no investment, no staff, and we had no idea how big we could make this thing if we really gave it a shot. We are now completing over 1.3 million calls per year, and we have about 35 staff members in Sydney, Australia that are prospectors alone. We have worked over the last 6 years with many top 100 agents, and I am personally responsible for creating and managing about 150 unique campaigns every single week that are agents and agencies alike from Australia and New Zealand. And pretty much, man, I have lived and breathed lead generation for the last 12 years. And so has Alex, the last 12 years, specifically in real estate. One other key thing we've done is in our first year of real estate prospecting, we made $1 million revenue in our first year, running a very similar system to what we're going to show you here. It's very much aligned with real estate and how to prospect in real estate. We were real estate agents ourselves. So that's essentially what we've done. We've taken a lot of our knowledge and we've put it into put it into K2X. And it pretty much goes hand in hand with what real estate agents do. So I'll show you how it all works. What you're going to get out of this is a video course for real estate agents, really in Australia and New Zealand. This is going to create a foundational blueprint for your business that's going to help you earn $1 million over a 2-year life cycle, or $1 million in GCI within 24 months. That's a very realistic target. If you stick to this plan, within 24 months' time, you will be making $1 million GCI. I promise you that. You could even do it sooner if you want to knock it out of the park. I'll show you how you can do that. So from these videos, you're going to learn how to create a database. From this video alone, you're going to learn how to create a database that will turn over $1 million in GCI. You're going to learn what scripts to say to find sellers hidden that no other agent is talking to. You're also going to create a bulletproof nurture program so sellers beg you to list their property. You're going to find out what hidden mistakes a lot of agents make and stop them from making $1 million in GCI. And we're going to talk a bit about how to manage your life with the consistencies and inconsistencies of real estate, prospecting, business ownership, listing and selling. These videos will be broken up into a series. As I mentioned, it's going to be released over the coming weeks. Hopefully one every couple of weeks, but don't hold me to that. Ideally, we do have this series running pretty consistently, and that's my goal for you. I really want to get this information out to you so I can help you get to $1 million as soon as possible and completely for free. That's what I want to do. And I just want to help you. I really, really do. Just want to help. So who's this for? Who is this for? This is for any new agent who's starting out, who has no database and wants to build real momentum fast. This is for the experienced agent who feels stuck and can't seem to grow their GCI at all. Year after year, they may hit the same figures. This is for the agent who's missed the GCI goal this year and wants to get to the next level next year. Any agent who has been caught up in the inconsistent listing volume, 10 listings one month, 0 listings the next. How do you beat that? This is for any agent who is hungry to improve and grow and sharpen their skills. And most of all, it's for the agents who want to really make $1 million in 1 year of work or do it within 2. So this is for you. Who this is not for? This is for agents that really can't be honest with themselves. Agents who don't want to grow and think they're above it. And this is also not for agents who think they know it all. So if that is you, please just leave now. But this is going to be something really special if you do have a crack at it. I can promise you that. So how I'm going to kind of do this is I'm going to approach this subject from if I was to start in real estate again. That's me, the big-headed guy with a tie on. It looks like the tie is choking me. My head's going red. That was my last photo in real estate. As you can see, I've got the bling. I don't have the bling anymore. That's hilarious. But I'm going to approach it as if I am back in real estate again. Okay. And using all the lessons I've learned from this business. So just to give you a little bit more understanding of who we are. So before starting K2X in 2019, me and my business partner Alex Forrest, we spent about 6 years prior to 2019 working across the McGrath network. I first started in Cronulla and Sylvania Waters McGrath, and then later I moved to St. George McGrath, where I met Alex Forrest. Me and him were sitting right next to each other, prospecting day to day, listing and selling as real estate agents in teams that we were working in St. George. And I had a lot of great mentors there at St. George. I'm very, very grateful to go to St. George because I worked alongside top 100 agents there, and a mentor to me, Matty King, who's very, very special. So I still remember my first listing very, very vividly. And I got my first listing before I went to McGrath St. George. I was pumping out cold call after cold call in Sylvania Waters, and I did it for about 6 months. It was relentless prospecting. I made hundreds of calls a day, and finally I broke into Sylvania Waters. I remember getting that listing and the relief. It was after 6 months of cold calling the whole entire area and being told no, and by chance, I spoke to someone that I've already spoken to 10, 20 times before. They were not selling at that time, but all of a sudden they were selling. And they passed me to their daughter on the phone because he was selling the property to move into a retirement home, and he gave the phone to his daughter. And they said, pop down to the property. So we popped down to the property that day. We listed the property, and I remember my eyes watering. It was an incredible feeling. We listed it with other agents. So we were actually, we had other agencies selling this property as well. And we had to get as many buyers through this property as humanly possible to actually sell it. So that was my first experience. I jumped on the phones after that and just pumped so many buyers through this property. But hey, I can tell you about that story another time. I'm just letting you know that, man, I've been in real estate and I can understand the ups and downs. It is painful, but it's also very, very rewarding. And I really learned two things from that experience of getting that listing. That experience taught me two key lessons. Persistence is non-negotiable. You just got to have persistence. If you want to be successful in anything, in real estate, in life, you got to be persistent. And I also learned that I was doing lead generation in real estate extremely wrong. So over time and running this business, I've noticed a few core issues that most agents get held back from. One is limited understanding of the actual sales process. Another is little to no business knowledge, no clear blueprint for generating consistent leads, which consistent leads is the foundation of your business. You have to have leads. If you have got no leads, you have no blood running through your veins. You're a dead man. There is some agents that just have a lack of resilience. When things get tough, they give up, and they will get tough, so you can't give up. A lot of agents I've worked with and dealt with are driven by ego, and they make decisions based off how they look to the outside world, and they have poor self-awareness. And one major area where a lot of agents, business owners, agencies, directors, salespeople fall short is really in short-term thinking. A lot of us gravitate to short-term thinking, instant gratification, trying to find the next seller, chasing listings, instead of finding people who are selling in the next 6, 12, 24 months and adding immense value to them, thinking long-term and just generating great wealth. It's that simple. It's that simple to do. And that's what this whole series is going to be based about. It's going to be based around finding those people, adding value to them, and listing those properties later in life, but actually listing a ton of properties and doing it for the rest of your life. So almost every agent I've ever met with struggles with at least one of these or most of these. So I've learned I'm not an expert on every bit of this topic. I'm aware of that this stuff happens to me, especially the short-term thinking, and I've got to just remember to break away from that short-term thinking and think long-term. Where's the vision going? What are we aiming to do? So hopefully I can help you with that as well. What a lot of top agents do differently, it's very clear. They think long-term. They're not just fixated on the next listing. They build and nurture large databases with thousands of contacts, which we're going to talk about today. They market themselves consistently and add value at every touch point. They also stay top of mind. So when people are ready to sell, they're the first agent to get the call. What we're going to do today is we're going to learn the foundational skill of building a database. It is your foundation for your business, for your livelihood. This is going to set you up for life. We're going to build a database and aim to build a database of 1,000 contacts within 40 weeks. That database will make you a minimum of $1 million every year for the rest of your life. To do this, we must A, choose the right suburb to specialize in. We need to work out how much GCI you can realistically generate from that area. This database has to be able to create $1 million in GCI within 12 months, okay, within a year's time. And we're also going to learn exactly what to say on the phone when prospecting that database so we can get the most reward and opt people into your database. I'm just going to nail a couple of common problems that I found. So common problem one, I've had countless conversations with agents across Australia and New Zealand, and a lot of agents I work with actually don't know their turnover rate in their suburb that they sell in. So now if you don't know that and you don't understand that key indicator, you're actually operating blind in your area, and your results and income will be a matter of chance rather than strategy. Knowing this figure will allow you to predict with ease what and how much money you can expect to make each year out of your BDA database. And another common problem, most agents don't have a database at all. So they don't store any of the data they actually get from open houses, from contacts they've sold for, or they're looking at selling. They don't store it correctly, and they just end up on pieces of paper in their phone, on an Excel sheet somewhere, but left behind. They don't actually store it in a CRM at all. Or they have one, but it's a cold download. Okay, so they think they have a database, but you really don't when you've just downloaded everything from RP Data or a cold list lead generation platform where you can just download like a data aggregator, which we'll talk about. You just downloaded all those contacts and put them in your CRM, or you hold on to that and this is my database. That's not a database. That's just a cold bunch of contacts. Most agents' databases are fewer than 1,000 contacts, and they have no clear plan to grow it. And when they do have a database, they don't actually have a consistent way to add value to their database. So they get left off the shopping list. They don't get remembered by that seller to actually be called in and get the listing opportunity. And they rarely, if ever, call their database all the way through and speak to absolutely everyone every 3 months. And that's the ideal time frame you want to call through your database. You want to rinse through it every 3 months. One call to everyone every 3 months. You have to make that. BDA area, step one. We're going to talk about creating a BDA area right now. So first, go to CoreLogic and search your chosen suburb. Type that in. What we're going to do now is find the average turnover rate for that suburb. You can calculate it separately for houses and units. Units will usually turn over faster. What we want to look for is we want to check how many properties sold in the past 12 months, and we're going to write that number down. Divide the total number of houses that have sold or house sales by the total number of houses in the suburb, and that's going to create your turnover percentage for houses. Do the exact same thing for units as well. For a clear picture, you can do this over the last 5 years, just in case you're working off a year that may be abnormally high or abnormally low. So over the last 5 years, we'll create a better average for you. The figure should range from 5 to 10%. Okay, 5 being the lowest, 10% being the highest. Now, if yours is lower than that, you need to add another suburb to your mix. And keep adding suburbs to your mix until you get a percentage of 5 to 10%. We really need to have that percentage if this is going to work correctly for you. After that, if you're starting brand new, jump on realestate.com and find out the average sales price for the houses and units. Just find that out because that's going to help us figure out how much potential cash flow you can get from this area. Step 2, how much money can you make from a sale? So let's break it down. If the average sale price in your area is, say, $1 million and you charge 2% or 2.2%, which is plus GST, you can make around $20,000 per sale in your hand. Okay. If your average unit price is $500,000 at the same rate of 2%, that's $10,000 per sale. So let's do the math and see what it takes to make $1 million in GCI. So if you just sold houses, you would need to sell 50 homes a year at 20K each. That's around 5 sales per month for 10 months, having 1 month off through Christmas and having, say, accounting for 1 poor month of sales. Okay, so 5 sales per month for 10 months. That's 50 a year. Units, you need to double that. Okay, you need to sell 100 units in a year at 10K a pop to reach the same goal. So if you are smart, I would say you would like to build a database only of contacts that have houses. That's where we want to focus primarily. We want to build contacts in your area that have houses only, so you can focus on selling them, and then treat units as a bonus, which you'll just add on in case someone is maybe purchasing a house and selling a unit. Okay, look after units that way. I would not personally, unless your area is just stacked with units, I would not personally jump into and only do units for that reason. Okay. Now, to be $1 million agent, all you really need is one asset and one asset only. That's 1,000 contacts in your chosen BDA. So if your area has an average turnover rate of 5% per year and you have a database of 1,000 contacts, statistically, that database will produce 50 listings annually. An average commission of $20,000 per sale, that's $1 million in GCI coming from 1,000 contacts. That is your BDA. That is your database. If your area has a turnover of 10%, you're in a very, very rare category, but it does happen. That doubles the potential value of your database to 2 million GCI per year. That's incredible. Most agents will miss out on these opportunities in their database because they're focused on who's selling now. They have the disease of now. We don't want to focus on the people selling now. The people that are selling now are really just calling you in to price check the agent they're going to go with. They want to see what low commission you can offer, and then they're going to use that as a negotiation tool to get the agent down they're actually going to go with. Okay, so don't waste your time. It is nice trying to go in to those ones and finding someone who's a seller now, but I can tell you right now, a lot of them aren't going to pick you. Okay, because you just don't have a relationship with them. It's that simple. Now, instead of focusing on the now sellers, we're going to start focusing on the people that are selling in 6 months, 12 months, or even 24 months. Okay, and we're going to start nurturing that relationship and adding value to their lives so we can actually get the listings from these people in the next 6, 12, and 24 months. Okay, I want you to focus one thing. Start to focus on one thing, and that is adding value to these people's lives. Try and add value to these people's lives in your database every single day. If you can shift your mindset around who is selling and what I can get out of it to how can I help people and how can I add value to this person's life every single day, you'll build strong, long-lasting relationships and you'll convert a ton more sellers than you are now. I promise you. That's really what the best agents are doing. Step 3, building your database fast. Okay, now we're into building the database. So start with, we need to get a bunch of raw lists. Okay, raw lists meaning people that own property in your area or potentially own property in your area that have an address, name, and a number attached. We're looking for people really with addresses and mobiles. Okay, that's what we want. And I have some recommended sources for you, which is Lead Lists, ID for Me, and Lead Express, or you can go to K2X, that's my company, and we can provide you this data. We subcontract to these companies. Who are these people? These people are data aggregators. So they collect information from multiple different sources, marketing platforms like Facebook, charity databases, government records, and more. They get it from all these different sources. Each provider typically supplies 2 lists. They'll provide you with a callable number that you can call, a callable number which is safe to contact, and the do not call numbers for references only, and these are not to be called. Accessing both these lists gives you flexibility, but I'll always follow the legal calling guidelines. Someone's revving the motor outside. Expect roughly 20% of properties in that area to have callable numbers, for example. So if there's 10,000 total properties in the area, expect to get about 2,000 callable contacts back. And for your reference, the DNC numbers, the do not call numbers, there should be another 20% of those on top of the callable contacts. Step 4, washing the database. Now, this is the most important step. Now, a lot of agents miss this step. They get the data from these data aggregators and they go, yep, perfect, let's just rip into this, or let's just dump this into our CRM. Do not do that, okay? These people have not asked to be put in your CRM yet. You must always get permission before doing so. And B, a lot of the data is going to be wrong. It's going to be junk. I promise you that, okay? What you want to do first is we want to cross-check ownership details. You have to wash the data. It's a manual task, but it's very, 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 very worthwhile doing. Think of it like this. Usually works out to be about 4 in 5 people are incorrect on these lists. So if you connected with 5 people from an unwashed list, 4 of those conversations were a waste of time. You wasted energy on that call. Instead of you could have spoken, and you only spoke to, one person who is an owner in that area in your BDA. If you wash the list, everyone on that list is going to be an owner. So you're not wasting any energy when you speak to people, you're speaking to owners, and that is very valuable. It saves you time and efficiency in the long term. Okay, so it's very worthwhile doing. So how do you do this? You need to cross-check CoreLogic to verify ownership details. You're going to keep contacts with confirmed matches. So i.e. if your name, Callan Richards, mine matches this property in Sans Souci, Richards, you would keep me on the list. All right. Remove or separate the ones that don't match, tenants, commercial entities, anything like that. You can keep commercial entities on the list if you choose to and use it as a way to qualify them later, find out if they are the owner. You really won't know until you connect with those people. You may have an inkling. I could be the owner. It could have Callan Richards down as the contact. Then it could say Richards Pty Ltd. So there's a chance there that I am the owner of that property. It's under a commercial entity though. We also want to validate phone numbers. So to do that, we need to confirm numbers are active and accurate. Some data providers can ping the numbers so they can send out a message to everyone and they get a response back saying these are disconnected numbers, so they remove them before you download them. Not all providers do that, and sometimes there's ones that just slip through the cracks, okay? You will have to manually go through each contact and dial it once to remove disconnected numbers, and you want to do that straight away. After a proper wash, expect at a minimum to remove around 50% of the raw data. So example, if you have 4,000 contacts of raw data, you're probably going to remove around 2,000 people. So you'll be left with about 2,000 callable contacts, or you could be left with about 1,000. You could have up to 75% of the list removed. All right, now it is a big task. We do wash data in this way, and it's very, very cheap. It's actually the cheapest way to do that. So if you would like us to do that for you, you want a quote, email us and we can sort that out for you. We can show you how we can wash the data effectively and get it done within days instead of you leaving it on your desk and doing it maybe never, or doing it within weeks and weeks' time and finding out that a lot of these people have already sold because it took you too long to wash the data. Okay, but yes, either wash it yourself or get us to wash it. All right. Step 5, working out how much money your database can make. This is the best part. So once you've got your turnover rate, you know how much, what this BDA is going to turn over the next 12 months, and you've washed 1,000 contacts, you can guarantee that there's going to be an average in there of, say, 20K a sale. If it's all houses, that means you can get 70 listings from your database within the next 12 months. Okay, that's $1,400,000 within the next 12 months. But first things first, we have to opt these people in. That's the next step. Start calling. Once your data's washed, it's time to start calling. For speed, call directly from the Excel sheet. Don't add these people back into your CRM right now. This is not the point where you put people into your CRM straight away. Even though they might be correct, they have not opted in, you haven't verified their contacts, and you may speak to someone who has a wrong number, so they're not the right owner anyway. So you don't want to upload this data yet. You want to upload people who have said yes, they want to receive marketing from you. They're an appointment, they're a seller, they're something. There's something where they've said that they want to keep in contact with you because you're going to provide value to them. Okay, that's the most important step here. We do have K2X cold list scripts and tonality masterclasses that I have added in here. So click the link on this PDF and it'll take you to our real estate training. And that will a free real estate training, I should say, which will have a cold call script waiting for you and our Tonality Masterclass. And that's going to be your benchmark, your foundation in prospecting to help you opt these people into your database, book appointments, and also find sellers in these lists. There is another couple of things you can do. Like I said, call from the Excel sheet. That makes it a hell of a lot faster. Use a dialer called Aircall. Okay, it's very cheap to get. It's a download online, and you can make Excel hyperlinks on the Excel page, which means you can just click to call, and you just click to call, and you end up calling hundreds of contacts within a matter of hours instead of a matter of days. It's very worthwhile doing if you want to work through this data fast and get opt-ins. I'm going to leave this with you. Your goal from here, if you want to make $1 million within a 24-month time frame, first we have to build a database. And to do that, we need to build a database of 1,000 opted-in contacts into our CRM. So people that actually want to receive information from us. Now, how do you do this? The goal from here is, your goal is complete 100 dials per day using our scripts that we've given to you for free to this data that you've washed. Aim for 5 new CRM opt-ins per day. Very simple. That's 5 new people that have opted in with an address, name, number, and an email address so you can market to them. Try and set appointments with these people, try and find some sellers, but most importantly, get those opt-ins. That's all you really need to worry about. At a very minimum, if you don't get any appointments at the end of the day, you don't get any sellers at the end of the day, that's okay. Trust the process and add 5 new CRM contacts in every day. At the end of the week, you'll have 25 new people in your BDA area that have been qualified to own the property, and they've opted into your database so you can start marketing to them. Okay, that should take you about 40 weeks to complete. Now, if you want to speed that process up, double it. If you want to do it in 20 weeks, I challenge you. If you want to do it in 20 weeks, you can add 50 new people into your database that have opted in every week. To do that, you need to add in 10 new CRM contacts every day. All right. Okay, cool. So we come to the end. Stay tuned for video 2, which is the Nurture program that we run. It's going to give you all the information, the scripts, the dialogues, everything you can possibly do to add value to your clients' lives, where they just get so much immense value from your hard work that they feel totally obliged to list with you and get you down to their property. All right. So I'm going to show you how to nurture this database that you've created once you've opted these people in. Subscribe to our email list, our YouTube channel, and our Instagram to be notified about releases. I love feedback, so please share your feedback with me, comment, or send me an email, callanrichards@k2x.com.au. Send it there. I would love to hear your feedback. All right. Peace and love. Have a great day. Bye-bye.